I'm just keep going. I can do it. It's same thing as it's always been.
Well, basically, you're just taking content, some form of real content, and blending it on the page, and then taking the RSS blending, where it's scraping multiple RSS feeds and combining it.
Well, I showed you that ours works. That particular system, I never bought it. It was like $10,000. Yeah. Duplicate content is not a problem as long as you don't just build the site on duplicate content. It's the best I can tell you. And if you get incoming links. And part of the whole social media promotion things are incoming links and the fact that you're being found on all the other pages. You have different visitors coming in. And like I say, we go so far as to pay people to post comments, and we run contests on other sites to post comments so they see everything that's going on. But if those blogs never had any comments or incoming links from other sources, it would be duplicate content, and you'd probably drop off the face of the earth.
Right, and that goes in conjunction with what you were saying as far as the search engines blacklisting IP addresses and so on and so forth. They see hundreds of sites or domains that are all parked on the same IP. Now, I actually figured a way around that by creating my own hosting company, because a hosting company will, I'm sure you know how that works. And I can have thousands of domains on my hosting company sharing, multiple C blocks of IPs and not have a problem. But it would have to be in the same concept that you're doing using...
Yeah, we used to, first of all, this isn't designed for that. We have automated systems that build these sites, but this was designed for people who want to build a few sites to support their market. We have systems that do that, and I used to worry about it, and I said earlier I refuse to talk about feeder site network anymore.
That's okay.
Once I open that can of worms, and you know what you're doing, obviously. So, but I still argue the fact that, yeah, we can still get several thousand domains on the same server cluster, but eventually, if all you're doing is reprinting the RSS feeds, it'll eventually fall down. We've had that happen. So we set up different networks, and we run incoming links campaigns and all the other stuff on top of it, too. So.
Well, one more question from Alex, because I know he's got one, and then we'll...
Yeah, this is very quick. You actually do keyword research using real-time data feeds, right? Is that that tool ATM Traffic Machine then?
I don't do research using ATM. I do the research still with like Word Tracker, Keyword Country. But ATM extracts highly focused keywords. So once I pick a particular market that I want to go into, ATM gets the highly focused bywords, keywords out for me. So the type of stuff you won't find on Word Tracker. So if I find an Apple Nano, I do my research over at Word Tracker. If I find out that's a market I kind of want to be in, then I go to ATM to extract the actual keywords. But the problem with that, though, is a couple of years ago, you probably heard me saying it, you've been around. I saw personally that iPods were hot because I read the newspapers every day and I read 50 magazines a month. And that's what I track where to build markets for. Word Tracker told me that they're updated all the time. Well, I read in USA Today it said 1 million iPod Nanos had been sold. I go to Word Tracker, and I like Word Tracker. I use it today. There was no interest in Nanos whatsoever in Word Tracker. We're going into Christmas. They're telling me they sold 1 million units in the USA Today. Word Tracker's telling me zip. Well, what do you think I did? Still
arbitrage.
So.
What I meant is like you were doing these videos based on these, like long tail keywords. Is that what you
I get those keywords from ATM Pro, definitely. These sites were built with ATM. And I gave you a list, I think we saw it, where I said ATM was one of the tools that we used. That's where we get the keywords. And that's also where we get some of the content. So we use the keywords to bring in content from data feeds to build the site, so it's not just RSS feeds that come in. And those are the highly focused keywords for the title tags and stuff.
Now, here's the amazing things about what you've just heard in this presentation, and you've just got nearly 3 hours of content, which was phenomenal.
I told you I'd be good for an hour, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, and I knew you could talk for days. So you got really a progression here, and you heard some very advanced discussions and questions being answered, but you also had information that we can all go back and implement manually, either ourselves or, as Jeff is recommending, outsource that to people, because some of it is manual intensive, and you can support it. And many of you have, as we do, supplement businesses that you're about to launch or have launched and want to generate traffic, and you want to start, creating and getting some authority out there on these social networks around the themes, centered around your products. So, this, in my mind, this is a great place to spend your time. Start generating dozens, hundreds, if not thousands of visitors without having to
It's-
even move to the advanced
Right.
techniques,
That's
right?
what I say. That's why I wanted to try to stay away from the advanced stuff, because too many times that seems to, anybody in this room, and we talked about the presentation you wanted me to do was so that you guys could do it and get started right away. So don't wait till you hire a team of 10 people to do it, or even one person to do it. You just go over these free tools and take a couple minutes poking around, and if you already have a blog out there, that'll help increase traffic immediately for it. And if you don't have a blog, you can go to any web hosting company out there, and they'll pretty much give you one for free if you buy a hosting account from them, and start playing with it and see how it works. I mean, it's very simple to do.
And you don't mind if everyone want a copy of this presentation?
You know,
Everyone? Okay, so we'll find a way to get this out to you. That has all the links. It has a way to get back to you as well, and
yeah.
get, okay, well, at least
No, there's no.
At least sign up for your
direct-
newsletter. I wanted to thank you for coming out and
no problem.
spending time away from your family.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Hope you found it of value.